Story 1. When at the airport and picking up your luggage, stand back so others can grab theirs. Don't block the entire carousel. Story 2. Sometimes you can make all the right decisions and do everything within your control and still fail. And that's okay. Story 3. Be kind and try to understand, rather than immediately condemning someone over a minor inconvenience. The key word, however, is minor. Story 4. Stop spending so much time trying to define who you are for others, and instead just live your life. Story 5. If you are going to be late for something, just let the other person know. Saying, "I will be 15 minutes late," is much better than not showing up. Story 6. If you don't believe in science, you can't use it anymore. There are no modern-day benefits if you choose to believe it's the Dark Ages. Story 7. You may make mistakes while driving. Don't get angry when someone else does as well. All day, I see people getting upset on the streets over very minor issues. Story 8. When people show you who they are, believe them. Stop seeing people for who they can be and start seeing people for who they are. Story 9. Assume that anything you share with coworkers will be communicated to everyone else at your workplace, including your supervisors. Story 10. When at the airport and picking up your luggage, stand back so other people can grab theirs. Do not block the entire carousel. Story 11. If you decide to move to another country for a year and agree that if either person isn't happy, you would move back home, you should honor your word. Avoid trying to manipulate others into having a child to force a life in that country. Do not spend the 3 months of your separation avoiding calls because you are busy while simultaneously posting pictures on social media of you going out with friends. Story 12. Live within your means. Most of the things people do, buy, or wear are to impress those who do not care at all. Story 13. I have always internally referred to it as my dinner time test. Is this going to be something I am affected by or thinking about by dinner time? If not, it is probably best to just let it go. Someone cut you off in traffic? Okay. Mutter how they are an idiot and let it go. Order at the coffee shop not what you wanted. Okay. That is disappointing. Let it go. Heard rumors about potential layoffs where you work? That is something worth focusing on and spending your mental energy on. So many people seem to get so irrationally angry over the most trivial things that, in the grand scheme of things, do not really matter. People make mistakes. Things go awry. If it is not still affecting you at dinner time, it is not worth stressing about. Story 14. It used to be called the Golden Rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. That is how I strive to live. But apparently that ship has sailed. Story 15. Treat everyone like a human being. Do not act entitled or believe that you are better than others because of money, power, or class. We are all the same. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect and compassion. We are all trying to live, survive, work, and find happiness. We can be kinder to each other and practice patience to learn and understand. Additionally, people need to be more responsible and hold themselves accountable for their actions, whether intentional or not. We should strive to be humble and apologetic and see each other as part of a supportive community rather than blaming or finding ways to divide ourselves. Story 16. Be aware of your surroundings. I cannot understand when people aimlessly wander through common public spaces, retail areas, or roadways as if they are the main character, expecting everyone and everything to make way for them. Story 17. Be kind and try to understand, rather than immediately criticizing someone over a minor inconvenience. The key word, however, is minor. Story 18. Be kind and try to understand, rather than immediately condemning someone over a minor inconvenience. The key word, however, is minor. Story 19. Write down the unwritten rules so people can reference them. This isn't prehistoric times. Writing exists for a reason. Story 20. When disembarking an airplane, wait for your seat's turn. Do not push ahead of other rows if you are seated further back. Story 21. Live below your means or you will always live paycheck to paycheck. Many people live in houses or drive cars they cannot afford. Story 22. When driving, acknowledging others with a wave or nod is key, whether saying sorry or thank you. I have gone from extremely upset to realizing they know what they did in an instant. Story 23. Use the turn lane to slow down, not to slow down and then merge into the turn lane. Use highway on-ramps to get up to speed instead of driving at 45 miles per hour or less. Story 24. Taxes are what we pay to address issues in our society. Funds for the poor help reduce crime rates. Investment in education decreases gang violence and drug use. Medical funds prevent the spread of diseases and accidents caused by neglecting health issues. Defense funds help protect our nation and support our allies. Story 25. Respect the space you are in. Do not trash it, break things, or act disrespectfully. Just because it is not yours does not mean you can do whatever you want with it or to it. Story 26. Treat walkways like roads. If you drive on the right, walk on the right. Look behind you before backing up. Story 27. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Meaning, you often find more success with kindness than with meanness. I learned that while working in customer service. Some people think that if they yell, it will make me work harder and do more. No, if you're rude, I will do the bare minimum to get you off the phone. Be nice and I might go above and beyond. Story 28. Many of the world's problems can be solved if individuals find a way to be happy without making others miserable. Story 29. Have a plan. I wish more parents taught young people to plan for their success instead of allowing them to stumble through life as we did. Instead of making young people learn from their mistakes, let them learn from the mistakes of others. Story 30. We often judge others by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. This difference is a source of much conflict in the world. Story 31. We often judge others by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. This creates a source of conflict in the world. Story 32. Walk on the right side of walkways. If you are turning a tight corner, extend a hand or signal in some way to ensure a gentle encounter if you come close to someone. While I have not worked in the service industry before, I understand that yelling corner works too. However, I usually do this in bars, and the thought of accidentally hitting someone makes me chuckle. Story 33. We should all know less about each other. I mean, if I am good friends with someone or even good acquaintances, I know a lot about them. However, there are certain things you don't need to know about anyone except maybe your partner or spouse, and those are the things I am referring to. Story 34. When you're down to the last bit of toilet paper, replace the roll yourself or notify the host or management that they are about to run out. Clean any skid marks, perform a courtesy flush, and use air freshener. When borrowing someone's item, return it exactly to its original place. Never tidy up or rearrange someone else's workspace. It is their territory. Passenger seats on public transit are for passengers, not for feet or personal items like purses, groceries, or backpacks. Consider distancing yourself from anyone who is consistently more than 15 minutes late or who does not show up at all. Story 35. You really don't need to tell someone what's happening in your life. If they want to know, they can only guess. Story 36. You take a page out of this guy's book. A little less talk, a little more thought. Johnny Casper. Story 37. Do not park your shopping trolley in the middle of the aisle and stand there with one hand on it while staring at the shelves. Story 38. Do not get credit cards. If you must have one for your credit score for a car loan or home purchase, get one or two and pay them off every month. At the very least, keep usage under 30%. Please take financial courses. Many are available for free online. I am not referring to investment courses, but rather emphasizing the importance of simple financial management. Story 39. A person should be given respect by virtue of being human. Respect is only earned if it has been first lost. Story 40. Return the cart you borrowed. People are hired to collect carts from the corrals, with extra pay for stray or loose carts. Just because it is their job does not mean you should intentionally create more of a mess. Story 41. Don't be loud in public spaces, especially on public transport. Some people seem to forget they are not the only ones present. Story 42. Just in general, I wish more people were aware of what is happening around them. Many individuals block aisles in the grocery store, drive without concern for others, and stop suddenly when walking in a crowd. Story 43. Do not give something tangible up front in exchange for a future intangible, such as a promise, unless it is a legally binding business transaction. For example, you do not have to engage in intimacy with someone now for the possibility of a happy relationship later. They can wait or move on. You do not have to cover someone's dinner expenses because they say they will pay you back. They can pay for themselves. Story 44. Reciprocity in conversation, even in superficial interactions, is important. When someone asks you a question about yourself, it is good manners to reciprocate after you have answered. For example, if someone asks where you were born, you should respond with, "I was born in insert place here. How about you?" It is not polite to answer the question without inquiring about them in return. Story 45. When messaging someone you don't know on social media, explain your reasons. Share why you are reaching out and what piqued your interest in interacting with them. Providing a clear reason encourages them to engage with you. Otherwise, you risk coming across as a stranger on the internet, which can be uncomfortable for the recipient. Story 46. If someone is trying to merge into traffic, either let them in or maintain your current speed. Do not accelerate just to prevent them from entering your lane. Story 47. Please, for the love of all that is good, wear underwear. It is not just a fun extra. It is important for comfort and hygiene. Underwear prevents your private areas from rubbing against your pants. If you bend over and your pants slip down, it can lead to an awkward situation. Underwear provides essential coverage. Additionally, denim can be harsh on such sensitive skin. That one little piece of clothing is crucial for maintaining hygiene. Story 48. This comes from an artificial intelligence. This website called AskReddit always tells me this when I complain about my difficult family members interacting with me. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Story 49. Treat others how you want to be treated. There is a reason I am kind to everyone. I want to be treated kindly in return. However, if someone is unkind, I will not continue to be accommodating. I care about people's safety and well-being, and I make sure they know that. However, I will be very persistent if I feel I am not being treated appropriately. Story 50. Escalators. If you want to stand, that's fine. Just move to the right. People should be able to walk up escalators if they wish. Additionally, if you are exiting an escalator at the airport and there are many people behind you, do not stop in the middle at the top. Story 51. Don't lose sight of the goal. I was in the military and joined for college. Many people do, but they get into the lifestyle and forget to complete their degree. Next thing you know, it's time to decide whether to stay in or get out. Without a degree and feeling comfortable in military life, many find themselves not saving money and choosing to stay in. They often say they won't leave until they earn their degree. They keep promising to finish their degree next year, after the promotion cycle, once the baby is born, or for some other reason. Eventually, it may no longer be their choice to stay or go. When the time comes, they may have to scramble to obtain certifications or a degree to remain competitive. They can't secure the high-paying dream job everyone discusses, and it all comes down to having lost sight of the goal. Story 52. Do you want to listen to music? Great. Just put on your headphones. Using the speaker is inconsiderate, and it is disrespectful to play a phone call or loud music in public. Story 53. Other people's way of life is not your concern. As long as they are not harming anyone, what they do, how they worship, what they wear, and whom they choose to associate with is simply not your business. Story 54. The idea that you do not owe anyone anything is false. We all owe society something. That is what living in a community means. People can have expectations of you, even from those you do not know. Get used to that. Story 55. Mind your business. If you do not like someone else's lifestyle, but they are not harming anyone, just focus on your own life instead of trying to control them. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.